You're welcome to True Love Show. I told you recently that I was going to come back very, very quickly because there's a topic we have on the table, and that topic has to do with women who are really, really promiscuous. Now, when you're married to a woman that is very promiscuous, what do you do as a man? Well, I am Rich Rose Benson, aka Madam Love Tinti, and I have a guest with me today. He's going to introduce himself. You're welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Aliyu Abraham Jesusene.
You're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Now, like I told us that topic is not something I would like to do alone. I would like to have a male figure by my side while we discuss it. Now, the topic, like I said earlier, it has to do with a woman that is promiscuous, though she's married. And right now, her husband is complaining. Meanwhile, True Love Show is a program that deals with your marital issue and your relationship. Today, we are going to be dealing squarely on the marital aspect of this show. So, again, you're welcome to this show.
Yeah, thank you very much.
As a man, you're married. You love your wife because, like I tell us, this show is a show where we get feedbacks. In fact, a man called me very early yesterday, very early in the morning, and he was so pained and concerned because he's married. According to him, he's married to a woman, though he has not paid the bride price. Now he's at the point of going to pay bride price, but he has this concern that, as Christians, we are advised to abstain from sexual, anything that has to do with intimacy. But so I assume that he is not this, how will I put it now? This Christian that upholds such rules. So they had it. And he said that the problem he's having now is that she never gets satisfied. Like every time, in fact, when she comes visiting, he said she will always say, I am coming with milk, eggs, and then what's that tall thing now? Malt. He said, these are the things she brings to boost his energy. And she will always say, now that I like this thing. I don't just know, I can't do without it. So he said, but the problem is, regardless of all his effort, she will always come up with, I'm not just, like in Nigeria, we'll say, speaking, you say, where the matter day, na day, you have not really shifted me. I'm just still. And so he said, on 1 to 3 occasions, she has packed her things and then angrily she left the house, like, is this the kind of life? And he said, as a man, I don't know why men will always love such a woman. A woman that is very good at the other room. But there's a problem. Because if he's a man that actually really like a woman who is given to, you're always available for him 247. But there is a woman that is now, her strength is more than his. And the reason why he called me is, what is my fate? He said, the kind of job I do, I'm not always around. What's my fate when I go and then I travel and then my wife is left alone and here she's burning and then, so I will want you to say something before we air out the advice I give to him.
Yes, I would like to start from the Christian point of view. Just as you earlier said, that normally you are supposed to abstain.
Yeah, you're supposed to abstain.
His word says marriage is honorable
in all things, and the bed undefiled. Yeah, that's in the book of Hebrews.
Yes. So now that he has tasted it, he won't even know if that is God's choice for him.
Okay.
That's number one. Number two, let's go physical now. It's very obvious that their libido don't match.
Yeah.
She has a, her libido is way higher than that of his.
Okay, but before you go to that aspect of libido, he said something. He said because one day he asked her, why are you like this? And she said, well, as a young girl, he said my mom always go to farm or was always going to the farm. So she will always leave me with this man in our yard to look after her. And so the man started using her from that tender age of 10 years, 11, 12. So she said from 10, 11, 12, 15, she was already a guru. And so even through her school time, she was always, and so she got used to it. So I don't know if you will say this one has to do with libido or by reason of use, like the Bible will say. By reason of use, she became so strong, and now.
You see, it's quite unfortunate that she was being abused by a pedophile. And normally any child, mostly the female child, that goes through that process becomes addicted. Over time, they become addicted. It becomes a problem. So that is the main problem.
And I think this is even a lesson too to parents that are watching. Be careful the person you leave your world with. Yes.
Though male children are also physically
abused. Yeah, several of them had that problem too.
So it goes both ways. Parents should endeavor to watch out for who they leave their children with. Very, very important to avoid such a situation. But now, such an individual.
So coming back home now, back to the issue on the table, how can she be helped?
She needs counseling. She needs therapy. Therapy, and these therapies involving sexual addictions. It's not really easy. You need to take her through some processes. But it is possible. Through the help of God, and through much counseling. Okay, so you are saying it is possible, and so the man should go on with the marital plans. In that regard, for now, their libido doesn't match, and it depends on if he has the patience to wait for her to go through that process. You use a word. Yes. You use a word. Their libido doesn't match. Is there any effect, or is there any danger to a man who is marrying a woman who has a higher libido than his? Definitely, serious danger. I want you to say something about because, that. This libido, though as Christians we don't have the opportunity to test. No, we don't have the opportunity to test. But it can be discussed. Yes, it can be discussed. To save many. Yes, to save many. And if you are to be frank, if you know that you have a high libido and your partner doesn't, and it's not what you can cope with, you tell yourself the truth and stay away. And call the relationship off based on that, because it might cause a lot of problems later in life. Marriage. Yes. I have a very pathetic story in this regard of a man that got married to a woman. The woman has a high libido, and then she was always on him, like if you don't come now, I will go out. I know no man want to hear that. And so it drove the man into using drugs to heighten his drive. And I don't know if you want to say something about the effect of or the danger of men using drugs for sexual drive. Just as I said, there is serious danger in it. There are health implications, and it is very common among our young men. Nowadays, they are trying to impress their ladies, to make them feel that yes, I'm good in bed. Just as we say, please hold it. My kind of talk, one statement you're making is leading to 10 questions. If, for example, a young man, maybe you missed it. Okay. We are not talking to Christians now. Let's talk as if we are talking to secular persons. Yes. You are at it with your would-be, the girl you want to marry in the future, and you discover that you even have to start using pills to meet up. Do you think that man should move on with that relationship? No, I don't think so. Because I feel that a man's libido, from our Africa setting, somebody will say Africa tradition, but Africa tradition is very close to scriptures.
is close to moral.
Yeah, there are some scriptures that agree with it.
I believe that a woman's libido or a woman's sexual drive should be in check as far as her should be curtailed as far as her husband is concerned.
That's where discipline comes in and good upbringing.
Because if you don't curtail it, there's going to be much problem. Do you know that we're at the time where women, married women, they sleep with electricians that came to work in the house, plumber that came to work in the house, and name it, because they had drive and their man was not around to satisfy it. I mean, what do you call that?
Now, in those days, like in the time of our mothers, yes, there were issues of adultery, but it wasn't as serious as this. We have more women that are cultured, irrespective of their libido. And this is as a result of their upbringing, the way they were being cultured, the way they were being tutored as at then. But for now, or rather in those days, people take pride. Ladies take pride in marrying as virgins. But it's not longer so now. We have a lot of young girls and young men that feel that it is normal for you to have sex indiscriminately with somebody that you are not married to. So as a result, they have built this high level of libido. Their sexual experience has gotten to a level, that is here, rather than here. So since their sexual experiences is now out of the normal league, when they get married to somebody that has a lesser libido, it becomes a problem. It becomes a serious problem. So that is why we are having, the rate of adultery now is on the high rise, especially among women now. In those days, it used to be men. I caught my husband cheating, but now we cannot really tell who is leading in cheating.
So what's the way out?
I have a belief. As a Christian, you pray to God, you obey the scriptures, and you put it into prayers. Because that is the only way as Christians that we can actually get out of it. Then maybe you go for serious counseling and therapy, backed up with prayers and obedience to the word of God, which is the Bible. Yes, because as far as I'm concerned, there is no much a secular person can do for you, when your sexual drive is up there.
Some persons who are watching will like, are you quoting scriptures? Say, I mean, wow, we dead. Let's talk. Do you know that?
Sorry, if I should say, just stop it. It is not the way. Are people actually going to listen? Actually,
no. Outside that, I've engaged men who are up there, who are out there. I mean, men who have names, men who are civilized.
Yes, it is only those that are willing, to listen to the way out. Just like that man called you and told you, oh, this is my problem. If the lady in question is also willing, if she knows that is a problem that she's having, and she's looking for a way to solve it, yes, she will get a solution to that problem. Only if she's willing.
Okay, so like I was saying, it's not a matter of your quoting scriptures and all of that. Yeah. An average man will desire that his libido is either equal to his wife or his own is higher than his wife. Quote me anywhere. An average man.
Yes, you are correct.
An average man, whether within or outside, wherever you go. Because no man will be happy to hear that, oh, I was not around and then my wife was horny and then she had to now go and use herself and hit the rock. Or you just look around, who is the next person? Maybe you even have house boys. You hear madam going to have what in house boy. And then this equally lead us now to DNA. This DNA issue, we had DNA issue recently, where a woman will have children, she cannot really attest that these children actually belongs to my husband. And somebody said, when in time where if you bring a DNA machine to a crowd where you have maybe 100 women, 90% of the women will abscond. They will just run the go and say, please, away with your DNA machine.
Yeah, someone once said somewhere that there was a research done in a hospital, this maternity hospital where they give birth to children, that they discovered that they decided to take a DNA test for every child born. And it's not that for every 10 women that give birth, at least one is not the husband is not the father of the child. Yeah, so it's as serious as that.
It's as serious as that.
Yes.
We are actually bringing this broadcast your way to help, especially for the women. You know, we're in a time where so many women, not all women, are becoming too promiscuous. Promiscuity is not too good for a married woman.
It's not good at all.
Oh, okay, thank you. So
yes.
I shouldn't use the word not too good. It's not good. It's a no.
It's a no.
So you that is watching us, I want you to learn something from either what during the discussion, from one statement that was made along the line, you're able to take something. So what's your final part, your parting word on this?
I would advise would-be couples, especially among the young people, you know, because the advice that will really make meaning is for the young people, the next generation. You know, curtail your sexual
drive.
Excesses. Very important, because high sexual drive is as a result of too much practice. You know, when you do it indiscriminately, you know, by the time you grow into an adult, it becomes very difficult for you to curtail it. So right now, begin to curtail your sexual drive. You know, there is this saying some years back, this zip up, that zip up is safer. So as a young person, zip up. Then when you are married, you can zip down. But for now, zip up.
All right, and for the younger ones, let me give this as a wrap up, because somebody will say, okay, well, it's just for the married. It equally has to do with the younger ones. There was this guy who was dating this girl, and the relationship was just fine, was just beautiful, until something happened, and then they had it. You understand? They had it. And you know, as soon as they had it, the guy started crying profusely. And the girl was like, why these tears? He said, because I made a vow that the girl I will end up marrying, I will never sleep with her. And anything that make me sleep with the girl I intend marrying, it means that marriage cannot hold. And so he told this girl, he said, as much as I love you, I cannot marry you. Why did you allow it? Why did you allow it? So to young girls who are watching, and call it to married women, please, let's curtail our sexual drive. It pays off. It pays off.
And if I may add quickly, for the married people, if you feel, you know, what's this one saying? How can I stop it? I want you to look at your children. Would you want your children to be like you? If your sexual drive is leading you to commit adultery with different people, would you want your children to be like you?
Of course, the answer is no.
So that's the question I leave for you to answer.
And that means it's bad. All right, we come your way again very, very soon. I remain Rich Rose Benson, aka Madam Love One Titi, and I've been hanging out with Mr. Liu Yetuseme. We'll come your way again very, very soon. Stay blessed for me.